So I was just watching Sakurai's video about the development process regarding Super Smash Bros. Brawl and how he sort of said at the end of that video that he can't imagine a Smash Bros. Without him at the helm. And I am inclined to agree. I feel like as much as I would like to see somebody new take over the Smash Bros. Franchise, at the end of the day, we all trust in Daddy Sakurai. And so with the successor to Nintendo Switch probably on the horizon in the next 12 to 18 months, I feel like the time is now to start thinking about what a potential Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Deluxe might look like, because I honestly don't think that we're going to be getting a new Smash Brothers game helmed by Sakurai for a very long time. Obviously, he put a lot of work into Ultimate, and the man deserves a little bit of a break. But Nintendo likes money, and obviously the Deluxe format worked just fine for Mario Kart, so I feel like they would have no problem repeating it for Smash Bros. Ultimate on Switch 2. So with all that being said, here is what I want out of a potential Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Deluxe Edition if we were going to get one on Switch's successor. First and foremost, every bit of downloadable content that was in Smash Bros. Ultimate should be in the base game of the Deluxe Edition. That includes every playable character that was added as DLC, every stage, every piece of music, every Mii costume. If you could buy it separately, it needs to be in the base game. And the big thing that I want out of this is I want that stuff better implemented into the main game. I wish there were more cutscenes and more items and more things from the franchises that they brought in as DLC. And I think there's a lot of potential for even some cool new stages utilizing those DLC characters. And the one big franchise that really stands out to me right now in terms of needing some additional love is Sonic the Hedgehog. Mainly due to the fact that Sonic has one of the best libraries of video game music, period. And so many of those amazing iconic tracks are not even included in Smash Bros. Right now in their base form. And the only two stages we have are Green Hill Zone and Windy Hill Zone from arguably one of the worst Sonic games ever made. Please, I am begging you, give me a little Chemical Plant Zone. Throw me a bone and give me Casino Night. Give me something else that's Sonic related that is not just a reskin of Green Hill. And while we're already on the topic of better implementing the franchises that they already have the license to from Ultimate, the number 2 thing that I think they should absolutely put into a Deluxe Edition is more Echo Fighters. When they first announced Echo Fighters for Smash Bros. Ultimate, I honestly thought we were going to get way more than we did, especially considering at the end of that first major trailer, Sakurai said we probably aren't going to get that many new characters this time around. Now, obviously, he was kind of full of it. We got a bunch of new characters this time around. A lot of them were DLC characters. Naturally, they had more time to work on them, but still in all, we got a lot of new original characters. So let's cut Sakurai some slack and let him give us some great new Echo Fighter characters. And honestly, there's a ton that they could choose from just off the top of my head. First and foremost, Octoling. I am shocked we did not get an Octoling Echo Fighter, considering how big of a franchise Splatoon has become for Nintendo. And there are also so many cool new weapons that they could implement on an Octoling Echo Fighter that they could pull from Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3, that seems like a no-brainer for the roster of a Deluxe Edition. And with Pikmin 4 now tracking to be the best-selling Pikmin game of all time, I feel like it's high time that Olimar gets an Echo Fighter too, and we can get a really fun one with Louie, not just by giving him maybe some new Pikmin types that are from Pikmin 3 and Pikmin 4, but they can also give him an awesome final smash, because spoilers for Pikmin 2, he's a really cool final boss in that game, and they could easily put that in as a final smash in Smash Brothers. Another really obvious one that could be implemented that would make a lot of people happy is Dixie Kong over Diddy Kong. Again, this is something I fully expected, not just in the DLC for Ultimate, but in the base roster of Ultimate. I was shocked this didn't end up happening. All they need to do is change Diddy Kong's recovery, and instead of being a jetpack, make it her little ponytail twirl from Donkey Kong Country, and you're good to go. There are even some really obvious ones for third-party characters. You could do Metal Sonic over Sonic, that would give us another villain. You could do Miss Pac-Man over Pac-Man. The list goes on, and honestly, I feel like this would be the best way to add a bunch of fan-favorite characters while, again, not taking up too much dev time. And speaking of cutting down on dev time, another very obvious thing that they could do to build out the roster that we already have in Smash Ultimate is give us more cool alternate costumes. Give us Dry Bowser over Bowser. Give us the full team of Star Fox, and do an Olimar and Elf situation for Fox and Falco, but instead give us Peppy and Slippy.
They're everywhere!
Now, with all that being said, I do feel pretty strongly that if we were going to get a Deluxe Edition, we would probably get some brand new characters as well. And that leads me to the one big thing that I think makes a lot of sense for Smash Bros. Ultimate Deluxe Edition, and now there is literally no reason not to do it. Put Geno from Mario RPG in as a playable character. Mario RPG is now coming to the Switch. It's in the forefront of people's minds. They obviously have worked very well with Square Enix with the development of Smash Bros. Ultimate with Sephiroth and Sora and Cloud. There is literally no reason and no better time to put Geno in the game. That is one of those big fan favorite characters that would make a huge splash and get a lot of people excited. And again, it would be a great way to promote the recent release of Mario RPG on the Switch. And honestly, if you think about it, if we were to get Geno as a brand new built from the ground up character and a roster of about 4 or 5 new Echo Fighter characters and all of the content that was already added to Ultimate as DLC, all in one base game, I think that would be really appealing to a lot of new players. And going back to what I said earlier regarding better implementing the franchises that are already in Smash Ultimate, I still think there's a lot of other things they could do for new fighters that are from those franchises. Another big one, I keep going on this Sonic train, but I feel like Dr. Eggman would be excellent. That is an iconic villain that is not present at all in Smash Bros. Ultimate currently. I think you could have a really cool moveset, a really cool stage, and would, again, be a great excuse to add more Sonic music to the game. Another character from an existing third-party franchise that's already in Smash that's also very iconic, that would make a lot of sense, would be Chun-Li from Street Fighter. Chun-Li was the original badass fighting game heroine. Why not include her in Smash Brothers? She could have such a cool moveset. Again, a really awesome stage, and would be a great excuse to add some of that great music from Street Fighter 6 into Smash Bros. Ultimate as well. But let's move away from the roster talk for a bit, because again, I don't think we would really get that many new, brand new, built from the ground up characters in a Smash Ultimate Deluxe Edition. 2 or 3 max, with maybe a couple Echo Fighters sprinkled in there. And again, I don't really think they would need that many more characters considering how huge the base roster for Ultimate with all the DLC already is. However, I do think Nintendo would want to push a big game mode in the promotion for a Smash Ultimate Deluxe Edition, and the one big one that stands out to me from Smash Bros. History that I think would be really fun to bring back is Smash Run from Smash 4. Smash Run was a really cool Kirby Air Ride City Trial-esque mode that was in Smash for 3DS that was great both single player and multiplayer, and also implemented, again, the franchises that were already in the game very well. There were minions from pretty much every Nintendo game under the sun in there, and I think that would be so cool to have a Smash Run equivalent in Smash Ultimate that has you fighting against Slimes from Dragon Quest or Heartless from Kingdom Hearts. Being able to play Smash Run online and implementing all the assets they already have in Smash Ultimate to create it, I think would be relatively simple and a great way to put out a substantial game mode for a deluxe edition without, again, taking up too much development time. And the last thing that I think would be really cool to see in a deluxe edition of Smash Bros. Ultimate would be break the target stages that are character specific, a la Smash 64 and Smash Melee. That was something I definitely missed in Ultimate and a lot of the more recent Smash games. And 2, I think a couple of returning stages could still possibly make it back if they just had that little bit of extra time from Ultimate. There are 3 stages in particular in Smash Bros. History that really stand out as being excluded from Smash Ultimate, and those 3 are, in my opinion, Poke Floats from Smash Bros. Melee, Rainbow Road from Smash for 3DS, and the Pac-Man Maze from Smash for 3DS. I was blown away that we got Pac-Land from Wii U and not the iconic Pac-Man Maze from 3DS. So definitely throw that back in a deluxe edition as well. So with everything that I brought up in this video, again, I do feel like Nintendo could make a really compelling deluxe edition for Smash Bros. Ultimate. Again, maybe 2 or 3 brand new built from the ground up characters. They don't need all that many if they're bringing back everything from Ultimate. Throw in a bunch of new Echo Fighters and alternate costumes that wouldn't take a lot of time. In terms of a new game mode, use Smash Run, recycle a lot of the assets they already have, but start throwing in some of the characters from franchises they already have the license to, and then again, maybe something like break the targets and a couple more stages come back, and we're good to go. But let me know what you think about the idea of a deluxe edition of Smash Ultimate on the Switch's eventual successor. Let me know all your ideas down in the comments below, and I'm looking forward to reading them. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye, everybody.